On the news tonight, Peter Obi promises to end insecurity, says negotiation with warring parties is the way forward. President Buhari pays tribute to fallen heroes as Nigeria celebrates Armed Forces Remembrance Day. And officer involved in Rahim Bolanle's murder pleads not guilty in court. Well, many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Rather than shun all forms of agitations, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has said that he will negotiate with all aggrieved parties to forestall peace and improve the state of security in the country. Peter Obi, who spoke while addressing Chatham House on his plans for Nigerians when elected next month, added that he will have zero tolerance for corruption by ensuring the revenue of government are properly accounted for. The Labour Party presidential candidate added that to improve security, youth unemployment must be eradicated to the barest minimum.
I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place. It's not only IPOB. We have Yoruba Nation movement. We have all sorts. When you have created this level of massive poverty, where 63% of your population is poor, you're going to create all sorts of problems. I was speaking to a British minister this morning. I said we have about 40% unemployment. And we have about 60% youth unemployment, young people in their productive age doing nothing. If you have 15% unemployment in Britain today, you're going to have massive, remember, agitation. Nobody will be able to leave his house. So what you're seeing is a cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years, which will be solved by good governance. When people start seeing justice, fairness, and inclusive government and doing the right thing, all those things will start reversing itself. And that is what me and that is offering. I will talk and discuss with all agitators. There's nothing wrong in that.
President Muhammadu Buhari, state governors and security chiefs have paid tributes to Nigeria's fallen heroes to mark the 2023 edition of the Nigerian Armed Forces Remembrance Day. In Abuja, the president led senior government officials at the wreath-laying ceremony to mark this grand finale of the event. The wreath-laying ceremony is his last as Commander-in-Chief of the nation's armed forces, as he is leaving office on May the 29th, 2023. The event, celebrated on January 19 each year, also honors veterans of World War I and II, as well as the Nigerian Civil War. It is a day set aside for sober reflections on the significance of the armed forces to the country. Speaking at the ceremony, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, assured that the armed forces would work solidly behind the Nigerian police force to ensure a free and fair general elections in 2023.
Day that we need to give thanks to God that men and women of this great nation once served and are serving and will continue to serve this country, and that we have that level of love for country that men and women have committed to, if need be, sacrifice their lives so that the rest of us can live.
To reflect on the significance of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day and to honor the nation's servicemen and fallen heroes, the Defense Headquarters, in partnership with the Nigeria Golf Federation, has organized a golf tournament at the General T.Y. Buratai Golf Course in Abuja. Representing the Chief of Defense Staff at the Armed Forces Remembrance Day Golf Tournament, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, urged the personnel to maintain physical fitness, which is key in the fight against insurgency. Also speaking at the event, the President of the Nigeria Golf Federation, Otumba Ronsewe, explained that the partnership with the military will further enhance the relationship of the armed forces with civilians, considering the place of golf in Nigeria.
We are playing this kitty in honor of these fallen heroes and also to remember those that have also retired and in the service. And the essence of the kitty is to be able to also generate a lot small funds for those that are still living, so that to assist them in whatever they want to do.
This morning, today we are celebrating our great heroes, the people that have made a difference, that have paid the supreme price for what we are enjoying today in this country. With this partnership, we're going to open more windows. You know, in Nigeria, it's for you to start something. Once you start, then you follow it up. So for us, NGF have started this for the first time with DHQ, and we believe it's going to spread to every nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
We started in October, in terms of, that's using sports in terms of recovery. Remember, the key word is recovery. And given what this man has done for the nation, it's very vital. So, so this is the second one. And we believe that going forward, there are so many things the CDS has agreed for this men, to do, in terms of opening up a sports. It has been set up already, but there will be a facility, for sports recovery unit here in Nigeria, and which is going to be even a great one for this men. And if you look at them, you see that they are eager. There is a vigor, renewed vigor in them, and which is what we want.
Now with sports, now you can see the society is they are being assimilated back to the society, and they are happy. They are recovering fully. They are no longer seeing their pains. They are looking forward to representing their various military units and the nation at large in sports championships.
To speak more on the welfare of members of the Armed Forces, security expert Roy Okidive joins me now. As always, thank you very much for joining us. Now, you've been at the forefront of the agitation for better welfare for ex-servicemen. What would you say has been the biggest challenge for the men of the Armed Forces?
I will need more audio from your end. More audio, please, kindly.
Now, if you can hear me, I was asking what you think is the biggest challenge so far for ex-servicemen.
Well, the whole world is aware what Nigerian veterans have been going through. And over the years, we have put up a lot of agitations for different types of abandoned responsibility by the government. And it's obvious. We can now see the indiscipline and unprofessionalism that is happening in the Nigerian military. And this is what we have been happy about. And we have now seen the effects on the old and the sick and the injured veterans. So it does not augur well to show a good projection for those that plan to come into the servitude organization to serve the country. And this has been the dilemma that we found ourselves.
Now, I know that you've been at the forefront of the fight for better welfare for men of the armed forces. So how responsive has the government been so far to the plight of these retired servicemen?
Well, if we want to rate government responses and actions and closures, I think it should be appropriate to give them a 20 over 100 mark, because where we expect more action is where we are abandoned the most. If you give an approval as a president who is a veteran, who was voted for in 2015 by a large number of veteran community, and you have the Minister of Defense, a veteran, and you have the National Security Advisor, a veteran. So we expect such executive order to be backed up by implementation monitoring. So you don't just sit there and whenever we protest and we get any results, all of them seated in government offices that are veterans, they get alert. And they don't follow through with all the policies, the constitutional rights of veterans that we are protesting for. So we are not happy about the speed, we are not happy about the template, we are not happy about the modus operandi. They all show a lack of empathy and emotional disparity towards veterans.
Well, indeed, security expert Roy Okidive, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. The suspended Assistant Superintendent of Police, Drambi Vandi, has pleaded not guilty to the murder of Rahim Bolanle, a female lawyer. The suspended cop was arraigned on one count of murder before the Lagos State High Court in Tafa Balewa Square Annex on Monday. The arraignment, which was scheduled for 9 a.m., was initially delayed by the absence of counsel to the defendant, Vandi, in court. Rahim was allegedly shot dead by Vandi in the Ajah area of Lagos on Christmas Day. The Christmas Day killing sparked widespread criticism from various sections of the country, as well as the political elite. And now to politics. The media directorate of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council has demanded that presidential candidates of the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, be immediately arrested and prosecuted for allegedly fleecing the nation's fund using special purpose vehicles between 1999 and 2007. The demand was made at a World Press Conference by the joint media directories of the Campaign Council in Abuja. Addressing newsmen, the chief spokesperson and director of public affairs, Festus Keyamo, alleged Atiku committed many infractions of the law and should be invited for possible prosecution. The Campaign Council also asked the PDP candidates to tender an unreserved apology to Nigerians and step down from the presidential race immediately.
Demand the immediate arrests and or invitation. If you are not arresting, you are inviting, interrogation, and possible prosecution of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Between 1999 and 2007, President Obasanjo and Atiku ran a criminal enterprise and an empire of fraud in Abuja. At the same time that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was toiling hard, very hard, dutifully and meticulously laying the foundation to rebuild Lagos. Two criminals were stealing money in Abuja at that same time. That following these revelations, it becomes clear that Atiku Abubakar has absolutely nothing to campaign on again, as the period of 1999 to 2007 that he always relies on can now be described to by Nigerians as the SPV years, when they ran Nigeria aground.
Whichever side of the political divide you are on, from that audio tape alone, it is clear that Atiku Abubakar is a criminal that should not only be arrested, he should also be jailed. He has brought disgrace and infamy on everything that the Obasanjo government achieved. He has crumbled it. He has made it clear that so many horrendous things were going on behind the scenes. And this is unacceptable to me and to all the other people, both in PDP today and in APC today, that were in any way linked to that administration. So for me, there's a great outrage about this sort of thing.
With just days to the February presidential election, the Emir of Gawo, Babangida Musa Abubakar, has endorsed the presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu. The Emir described Tinubu as a detribalized grassroots politician who has proved his capacity to lead the country and should be supported by Nigerians in the coming election. On his part, the Director Community Support Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Abdullahi Ahmed Mayago, urged community members to cast their vote for the APC at all levels, promising that the Tinubu-Shatima administration will be an era of representation of the people.
We cried of, we don't have light and we need step down. So we want him to come and look into that. Then secondly, most of our children are graduates, university graduates. Some of them have NCE diploma and they don't have a job. So they should come down, should do something that our children will be employed. They should have something doing. And thirdly, we want him to come down and look at the issue of security. We need more manpower in security. We should boost more police officers in Nigeria. They are not adequate. They are not enough. The task I have for them is for them to see that they vote him into power. Ahmed, Tinubu, and Shetima. The task people is to see that God has given him the power to come to be the next president 2023.
Our presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima are grassroots politicians who have compassionate feelings for the people, for the masses, and we are packaging a lot of programs that will touch the life of the people, from health, security, education, water resources, name it. Facilities that will develop this country, human capacity, and much more that will put this country in a better perspective.
Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kashin Shetima, there's no place you go. He talks about security to add up. He talks about farming, he add up. He talks about also education and even electricity, as you were saying. So it's part of his agenda also to rehabilitate and also add up to all the challenges that are there. Then he's going to fix them and he's going to make sure that everybody will be happy in this country.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Nigeria's inflation eases to 21.34%, first drop in 11 months. Details of this story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the president of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world. A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. Rather than shun all forms of agitations, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has said he will negotiate with all aggrieved parties to foster peace and improve the state of security in the country. Peter Obi, who spoke while addressing Chatham House on his plans for Nigerians when elected next month, added that he would have zero tolerance for corruption by ensuring the revenue of government are properly accounted for. We also told you that the suspended Assistant Superintendent of Police, Drambi Vandi, has pleaded not guilty to the murder of Rahim Bolanle, a female lawyer. The suspended cop was arraigned on 1 count of murder before the Lagos State High Court at the Tafawa Balewa Square Annex on Monday. Rahim was allegedly shot dead by Vandi in the Ajah area of Lagos on Christmas Day. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin, or for more updates, you can catch us on Lime Export TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. The World Health Organization has recommended the use of face masks by the public in specific situations. The WHO issued the updates given the current spread of COVID-19 globally. The agency explained that masks are recommended following a recent exposure to COVID-19 or for anyone in a crowded, enclosed or poorly ventilated space. The WHO also advised that a COVID-19 patient could be discharged from isolation early if they tested negative on an antigen-based rapid test. In Nigeria, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 42 new cases of the virus in the country in 2 weeks. The cases were recorded in Lagos, Edo, Kano, Nasarawa, Kaduna and Plateau states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The 42 new cases brought the nation's confirmed COVID-19 infections to 266,492. Meanwhile, the federal government has insisted it will not impose COVID-19 restrictions on China, despite the rise in infections in the East Asian country. We'll take a break here and return with more stories and business. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Let's join Simisula Adigun now for more stories and business. Over to you, Simi.
Many thanks, Folashade. Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's inflation rate has eased to 21.34% in December 2022 from 21.47% in November 2022, the first drop in about 11 months. The National Bureau of Statistics revealed this on Monday in its latest Consumer Price Index (CPI) report. The NBS said the December 2022 inflation rate showed a decline of 0.13% when compared to the figure of November 2022. The latest figure, however, is still high when compared to December 2021, when inflation rate stood at 15.63% before dropping to 15.60% in January 2022. The NBS also said food inflation eased to 23.75% in the month under review, a decrease compared to the 21.13% recorded in the preceding month. But on a year-on-year basis, the figure is 6.38% higher in relation to December 2021. The the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission says it will start the process of reviewing the national minimum wage on January 23. Speaking in Abuja on Sunday, Emmanuel Njoko, the spokesperson of the commission, said it had held a series of training and meetings in preparation for nationwide monitoring of the act. Njoko said the monitoring team for the exercise would be drawn from key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Labour and Employment and the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. President Muhammadu Buhari had in 2019 signed the Minimum Wage Act that approved 30,000 naira for both federal and state workers. We'll take a short break here and be back with stock market reports. To stay with us. It's not a good start to the new trading week for the Nigerian Exchange Group as the markets closed in the red at 0.31%. Now, following last week's positive sentiment seen across all sectoral indices except insurance, the bearish sentiment isn't surprising as investors sold shares and took profits. Now, with the bears at work, the all-share index shed points to close at 52,348 basis points, while current market capitalization stands at 28.5 trillion naira. naira. Now 20 gainers and 23 losers emerged from the 113 equities that participated in Monday's trading. Chelarams and Honeywell PLC lead the league of decliners, shedding a total of 3 naira 47 kobo. Now in 5,219 deals, investors exchanged a total of 221 million volume of shares, corresponding with a market value of over 3 billion naira. Now to our select foreign stocks. Aside the UK's FTSE and US Dow Jones finishing in the greens at 0.23% and 0.33% respectively, Asian stock Nikkei closed lower, declining by 0.14% as falling stocks outnumbered advancing ones. That's the stock market report. For Lashade, back to you.
Well, many thanks to Ms. Salah for that update. On the foreign scene, Italy's most wanted mafia boss Matteo Messina Denaro has been arrested in Sicily after 30 years on the run. Messina Denaro was reportedly detained in a private clinic in Sicily's capital, Palermo, where he was receiving treatment for cancer. He is alleged to be a boss of the notorious Cosa Nostra mafia, and he was tried and sentenced to life in jail in absentia in 2002 over numerous murders. More than 100 members of the armed forces were involved in his arrest. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian superstars recorded big wins at the 2023 Africa Music Awards, with Burna Boy, Wizkid, Asake, Adekunle Gold, and Davido coming tops in different categories. The 8th Afrima was held from January 12 to 15, 2023 in Dakar, Senegal, and attracted African superstars from all parts of the continent who gathered for the annual ceremony that celebrates the best music from the continent in the year in view. Burna Boy took home the award for Best Album and Best African Act. Davido won the Best Inspirational Song for Stand Strong and Best African Pop for High in his collaboration with Adekunle Gold, while Wizkid took home the Best West African Act Award. Asake, who dominated 2022 with an unprecedented run, took home the Breakout Artist of the Year award. Medical doctor and content creator Chinonso Egemba, popularly known as Aproko Doctor, has revealed that he had a brief battle with brain tumor. The social media influencer shared this via his social media page on January 16, stating that he battled for his life throughout December last year. According to Egemba, he was diagnosed on December 5 and went partially blind not long after. Egemba is popularly known for offering medical advice and enlightening people via his social media platforms about health-related matters to improve and maintain good health. He is also the executive director of the 100K Club, a non-profit organization that lends medical support to Nigerians who need health assistance. Well, that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now.
In sports, defending champion Rafael Nadal has admitted he had been far from perfect after grinding down a man 15 years as junior to kickstart his bid for a 23rd Grand Slam title on Monday. The Spanish top seed unleashed some of his trademark hammer forehands, but also made 46 unforced errors before defeating Briton Jack Draper at the Australian Open. It put him into the second round for a 17th time and stretched his win-loss record at Melbourne Park to 77-15. He will next play Mackenzie McDonald, who beat fellow American Brandon Nakashima in a 5-set thriller. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Fola Shadi. Have a great day. Bye for now.